Good evening and welcome to Plymouth Regional High School. I'm Marissa Milano and today's matchup is between the Plymouth Bobcats and the Kingswood Knights here on Pemmy Baker TV. So far this season, Plymouth has a record of 3-2 and Kingswood has a record of 1-5. As the players take the court, I'm going to go over the starting lineups for both teams. For the Knights, number 2, Jerry Andrea. Number 13, Melina Envini. Number 16, Billy Joe Dumont. Number 4, Alyssa Baldwin. Number 7, Casey Berth. Number 22, Claire Richards. And number 12, Abby Kohler. For the Bobcats, number 10, Christina Fergal. Number 8, Anja Swanson. Number 11, Savannah Marston. Number 16, Sierra O'Brien. Number 15, Alicia Portares. Number 18, Mia Sullivan. And number 20, Kalia Abdul-Jabbar. Starting off for Plymouth, the serve is Christina Fergal. Fergal setting for Savannah Marston, and it's going to be a point for Kingswood. Serving for Kingswood is number 12, Abby Kohler. Kohler, set for Alyssa Baldwin. And it's going to be a Plymouth point off the block. It's going to be tie score 1-1 in the first set. Number 8, Anja Swanson with the serve for Plymouth. There's going to be a foul, and it's going to be a point for Plymouth. There was a carry on that play. Again, Anja Swanson serving for the Bobcats. Abby Kohler set, and there was a foul, and it's going to be another Plymouth point. The score is now 3-1. And that's going to be a kill for the Knights. The score is 3-2. Plymouth is still in the lead in the first set. Coming into the game for the Knights is number 15, Sarah Hotchkiss. And that is going to be a point for Hotchkiss. With the Knights, the score is 3-3. Taking the serve for the Knights is number 2, Jerry Andrea. Andrea with the serve. And it's going to go far, and it's going to be a Plymouth point. Scores 4-4. Abdul-Jabbar with the serve for Plymouth. It's going to be a server point. It is going to hit the net and hit the Knights' side of the court, making the score 5-4 Plymouth. Abdul-Jabbar again with the serve. Sarah Hotchkiss for the Knights. Shot went long, and it's going to be another point for Plymouth. Von Eiderstein is going to get the point for Plymouth with that one. It is going to hit off the fender's tip of her hand and hit the court. Abdul-Jabbar with the serve. It's going to be another point for Plymouth. Serve by Abdul-Jabbar is going to go into the net. And now the Knights are going to get the serve. Taking it for the Knights is Claire Richards. It's going to go long and be another Plymouth point. Score is now 9-5. Sarah O'Brien for the Bobcats. O'Brien again. Over to Von Eiderstein, and there's going to be a point for her. Scores 10-5 Plymouth. Still in the first set. O'Brien with the serve. Maddie Ward with the point on that one. Looked like Abdul-Jabbar thought the ball was going to go out of bounds, but it did stay in, giving the Knights a point, making the score 10-6. Casey Berth at the serve. Over to Abdul-Jabbar. Back to Sullivan. O'Brien, over to Cooper, over to Von Eiderstein, and it's going to be another Plymouth point. Coming into the game for the Bobcats is Alicia PRHS, and she is going to take the serve, and we're going to have a timeout for the Knights. So far this this first set, the score is going to be pretty close. The 5-point game so far. Looks like the Bobcats are in the lead. Hopefully they're going to be able to win this set and then win the next two sets, making it a quick game. Taking the serve for Plymouth is Alicia PRHS. Over to Richards. Over to PRHS again. Up to Cooper. And there's going to be a point for Cooper. Scores 12-6, Plymouth. PRHS with the serve. And it's going to be another Plymouth point. Coming into the game for the Knights. Abdul-Jabbar. It's going to go long, and it's going to be a point for the Knights. Scores 13-7. Going back into the game is number 2, Jerry Andrea. Abdul-Jabbar over to O'Brien. Back to Abdul-Jabbar, and it is going to go out of bounds. It's going to be Kingswood's point. Hotchkiss with the serve, over to Abdul-Jabbar, over to O'Brien. Cooper over the net. Abdul-Jabbar over to O'Brien. It is going to be a Plymouth point. Scores 14-8. Coming onto the court is Billy Joe Dumont for the Knights. Taking the serve for Plymouth is number 18, Mia Sullivan. Is going to hit the net, and it's going to be a Plymouth point. Again, Mia Sullivan is going to take the serve for Plymouth. Great save by Maddie Ward. It is going to hit Casey Burt's arms the wrong way and is going to go out of bounds for a Plymouth point. Mia Sullivan again with the serve. Great serve. Communication issue on Plymouth's side. It is going to give Kingswood another point. Abdul-Jabbar is going to come back onto the court for Mia Sullivan. Kingswood thought the ball was going to stay out of bounds, but it did come in, and it's going to be another Plymouth point. Score is now 17-9. Taking the serve for Plymouth is Christina Fergal. Again, another miscommunication for Kingswood now, and it's going to be a Plymouth point. Plymouth now has a 9-point lead in the first set. Christina Fergal with the serve. Over to Abdul-Jabbar. It's going to go long for Kingswood and be another Plymouth point. Ball done over to Abdul-Jabbar. It's going to be a Kingswood point, but Abdul-Jabbar, great efforts by her getting on the ground and really did save that ball for Plymouth. Coming onto the court is Maddie Ward for the Knights. Abdul-Jabbar over to Fergal. That's going to be a point for Anja Swanson. Plymouth now has a 10-point lead. 5 more points and they will win this set. Coming back onto the court is Kate von Eiderstein. That is going to stay in for Sierra O'Brien. It's going to be a Plymouth point. Fergal to O'Brien. It is going to be another Plymouth point. Scores 22-10, Plymouth. Swanson with the serve. Abdul-Jabbar over to Fergal. Back to Abdul-Jabbar. It is going to go into the net and be Kingswood point. Fergal. Over to O'Brien. It is going to be a Plymouth point. Coming onto the court for Plymouth is number 18, Mia Sullivan. Abdul-Jabbar with the serve. Over to Abdul-Jabbar. To Fergal. Sets for O'Brien. And Mia Sullivan is going to get that point for Plymouth. This is now going to be a set point for Plymouth. Abdul-Jabbar is going to take the serve. And with one more point, they'll have won this set. And that is the end of the first set. Plymouth did take the win for that first set. We'll be back in a few minutes for the start of the second set. We're back now for the start of the second set. Plymouth does have one set under their belt so far this game. I'm curious to see how the Knights are going to take that and come out this second set. I do think that they're going to come out with a lot of fire, hopefully to get them a win under their belt. Fergal trying to go over the net, and it does go into the fans section. It's going to be Kingswood point to start off the second set. Taking the serve for Kingswood is number 13, Marina Aniva. Abdul-Jabbar. There is going to be a carry on that play. For Sierra O'Brien is going to be another Kingswood point. Score is now 2-0. And again, Marina Aniva is going to take the serve for the Kingswood Knights. O'Brien trying to get it over the net. It is going to come down short and be another Kingswood point. O'Brien over to Abdul-Jabbar. Fergal trying to get it over the net, and it is going to come down short again. It's going to be 4-0 Kingswood. Like I said, Kingswood did come out with a lot of fire this start of the second set. Abdul-Jabbar to O'Brien. Abdul-Jabbar to O'Brien. Swanson. It is going to be a Plymouth point. They are on the board now. Scores 4-1. Fergal with the serve. Van Adderstein over to O'Brien. Another Plymouth point. It's going to be 4-2. Great save by Kohler. Over to Von Eiderstein. It's going to be another Plymouth point. Scores 4-3. Plymouth is coming back now. Fergal with the serve for Plymouth. Over to Von Eiderstein. Over to Marson. It is going to be a point for her. And score is tied up now. It's 4-4 in the second set. Fergal with the serve. It's going to be short into the net, and it is going to be Kingswood's point. Abby Kohler is going to take the serve for Kingswood. O'Brien is going to hit into the net, and it's going to be another Kingswood point. Again with the serve is Abby Kohler. Abdul-Jabbar over to PRHS. Up to Marson over the net. An easy point for Kingswood. Scores 7-4. So far this set, Kingswood has led. Abdul-Jabbar over to Fergal, over the net, and it is going to be a Plymouth point. Great play by Fergal. It looked like she was going to set it for one of her teammates, but she did send it over the net. Coming onto the court is number 13, Kate Von Eiderstein. It's going to be another Plymouth point. Taking the serve is number 8, Andrew Swanson. Abdul-Jabbar over to Fergal. Set for Von Eiderstein. It's going to go into the net and be a Kingswood point. Coming back on the court is Sarah Hotchkiss for the Knights. Great serve by number 2, Jerry Andrea. She is going to get the point on that serve. Scores 9-6, Kingswood. Von Eiderstein over the net. It is going to be saved. Great play by Kingswood. Abdul-Jabbar over to Fergal. Up to O'Brien. Again, saved by Kingswood. Great defensive set for them. Fergal over to O'Brien. And Kingswood is going to get the point on that. That was a great play by Kingswood. 2 times in a row. Great defensive players out there. Jerry Andrea taking the serve for the Knights. Over to Von Eiderstein. It is going to be a Kingswood point. A little miscommunication out there. And Plymouth is going to have a timeout now. So far this set scores 11-6. Kingswood is leading. A little bit of a different outcome from the first set. Curious to see if this game is going to go 3 sets or 5 sets. Coach Mary Boyle is trying to reel her team in a little bit, take a deep breath. They did dominate the first set, so I'm sure there's a little bit of frustration out there for the Bobcats. Hopefully this timeout helped them get it back together and hopefully get them some points back on the scoreboard. Kingswood's going to start with it. just long for Marston. It is going to be a Kingswood point. Andrea serve over to Abdul-Jabbar. Fergal sets for O'Brien. Abdul-Jabbar over to Fergal. O'Brien sets over to Von Iverstein. It is going to be a Plymouth point. Scores 12-7. Plymouth is slowly trying to take a comeback. Coming onto the court now for Plymouth. Khalila Abdul-Jabbar is going to take the serve for Plymouth. And a great tip by Mia Sullivan, getting her team another point, scores 12-9. And Plymouth, that timeout definitely did help Plymouth out. Sort of take a deep breath and refocus. Abdul-Jabbar. Abdul-Jabbar over to Fergal. Sets for Mia Sullivan. It was a close one. There was tipped it right into the net. She did save herself, but then it did look like some type of carry. Scores 13-9 Kingswood. Claire Richards taking the serve for Kingswood. Abdul-Jabbar over to Fergal. Sets for Sullivan. Tipped over to O'Brien. There's going to be a Kingswood point. Kingswood's done a really nice job in the second set, being able to find the open court space and getting the ball exactly where they want it to go. Scores 14-9. Abdul-Jabbar saves it over to Fergal. Swanson over to Fergal. Abdul-Jabbar. It was a nice defensive play by Abdul-Jabbar. Unfortunately, Kingswood is going to get the point on that play. Scores 15-9. Claire Richards with the serve. Over to Swanson. Great play by Kate Von Iverstein. It is going to be long. It is going to be another Plymouth point. Plymouth now has 10 points on the board, only trailing by 5. Emma Cooper back on the court. Taking the serve is Sierra O'Brien. Over to Richards. Abdul-Jabbar. Over to O'Brien. Cooper. And it's going to be a Plymouth point. Sierra O'Brien with the serve for Plymouth. Swanson over O'Brien. She's going to set for Von Iverstein. O'Brien. Cooper is going to set for Von Iverstein. Abdul-Jabbar over to Richards. It is going to hit the net for Kingswood, and it's going to be a Plymouth point. Now Kingswood's going to call a timeout. Plymouth is starting to make a comeback now in the second set. Now the Kingswood coach is going to try to reel his team in, get them back. I mean, really, the factor in this second set is whoever has momentum. So far, it's been back and forth. Kingswood started off with it, and now Plymouth is slowly taking it back. Kingswood's trying to get it back before we go into the third set. Plymouth now coming back on the court. Looks like Sierra O'Brien is going to take the serve for Plymouth. It's going to be a nice serve for Sierra O'Brien. It's going to be another Plymouth point. 15-13 now. They're only trailing by 2 points. O'Brien again with the serve. Richards thought she had it, but stumbled over the ball. It's going to be Plymouth point, 15-14. Coming onto the court for Kingswood is number 2, Jerry Andrea. O'Brien with the serve. Great defensive play for O'Brien over to Richards. Kohler setting, and they are going to hit the net. It's going to be a Plymouth point, and the score is now tied up 15-15 in the second set. Great comeback by Plymouth.
Let's go, Kingswood!
O'Brien with the serve. It is going to be just short and hit the net. It's going to be a Kingswood point. Taking the serve for Kingswood is number 14, Maddie Ward. Swanson to O'Brien, going to set for Cooper. Ward over to Kohler. Great save by Abdul-Jabbar, getting Plymouth that point. So far, I think Abdul-Jabbar has really dominated this game for Plymouth. She's been all over the court, making every defensive save. Poitras with the serve over to Richards. Kohler heading over the net. There's going to be a little miscommunication on the Plymouth side of the court. He's going to give Kingswood a 1-point lead again, 17-16. Sarah Hotchkiss with the serve. It is going to stay in the court, 18-16, Kingswood. Hotchkiss is going to take the serve again. Over to Swanson. O'Brien looks like she's going to set. Great play by O'Brien. Looks like she was going to set for Cooper, and she did put it over the net, getting Plymouth another point. Coming onto the court is Savannah Marston. And Mia Sullivan is going to take the serve. Kohler going to set it. Great save by Marston. And it's going to be out, and it is going to be a Plymouth point. Again, great play by Savannah Marston, keeping that ball in play and not letting it hit the court. Mia Sullivan with the serve for Plymouth. It is going to be long. It's going to be a Kingswood point. Very close game now. It's 19-18 Kingswood, getting that much closer to 25 points. Abdul-Jabbar over to O'Brien. It's going to set for Cooper. It's going to be just short, and it's going to be a Kingswood point. Score is 20-18 Kingswood. Aniva with the serve for Kingswood. Over to Poitras. O'Brien's going to set for Swanson. It is going to be a Plymouth point. Defensive error on Kingswood. Claire Richards is back on the court now for Kingswood. Fergal with the serve. The ball is going to go out on Kingswood. Scores 20-20. This set's much closer than the first set was. Fergal over to Richards. Kohler sets for Andrea over to O'Brien. Fergal is going to set for O'Brien. It is going to be short. Scores 21-20 Kingswood. Abdul-Jabbar over to Fergal is going to set for Swanson. And it's going to be a Plymouth point. Tied again, it's 21-21. Back on the court is number 13, Kate von Iverstein. Out of bounds on Kingswood, it's going to be a Plymouth point. It's the first time that they're leading in this game and scores 22-21 Plymouth. Swanson with the serve for Plymouth. Richards, short, and Plymouth is going to get the point. It's 23-21. Coming back on the court for the Knights is Casey Berth. Swanson serve. Kohler set, and it is going to go out of bounds. It's going to be a Plymouth point. It's 24-21. This is going to be a set point for Swanson. And it is going to be short, and Plymouth is going to win this second set. It was a very close set. Kingswood did start off with the lead, and unfortunately, they weren't able to keep that lead. Plymouth did come in and take the win for that set. We'll be back in a few minutes for the start of the third set. We're back now for the start of the third set. For Plymouth, hopefully this is the final set. Kingswood's going to try to fight back here. This is depending on the game for them.
Casey, you got it.
Does look like Fergal is going to start us off with the serve for Plymouth. Abdul-Jabbar over to Fergal. She's going to set for O'Brien. Abdul-Jabbar. Kohler is going to try to set it. Unfortunately, she couldn't get a good hand on it. It's going to be a Plymouth point to start off the third set. Fergal with the serve. Over to Richards. Kohler is going to set it. Fergal over O'Brien. Again, O'Brien looked like she was going to go for the set, but did place it over the net and is going to get them another point. Score is 2-0 in the third set. Fergal with the serve. That is going to be a point for Fergal on the serve. 3-0 Plymouth. Again, Fergal with the serve. Abdul-Jabbar setting. Fergal is going to set for O'Brien. Saved by Richards, but it is going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be 4-0 Plymouth. Fergal again with her 5th serve of the set. And that one was going to stay in bounds for Kingswood, getting them on the scoreboard. It's 4-1 Plymouth. Abby Kohler with the serve. It is going to go wide, and it's going to be a Plymouth point. Now taking the serve for Plymouth is number 8, Andrea Swanson. Abdul-Jabbar. Oda Fergal is going to set for Von Iverstein. It is going to be a Plymouth point, 7-1 Plymouth. Kohler is going to set. It is going to be a nice block by Marston, getting Plymouth their 8th point of the set. That could potentially be the highlight of the night for her. That was a great block. Taking the serve is Swanson. Kohler's gonna set. It is gonna hit the net and be a Kingswood point. Coming on the court again is Sarah Hotchkiss. Jerry Andrea with serve over to Abdul-Jabbar. Fergal with the nice serve over the net. It's going to be out of bounds on Kingswood. It's going to be another Plymouth point. Scores 9-2 Plymouth. Abdul-Jabbar with the serve. O'Brien gonna set for Fergal. She's gonna set for Von Iverstein. Kohler is gonna go long, and it's gonna be a Plymouth point. Scores 10-2. Abdul-Jabbar over to Richards. Kohler is gonna set it. Abdul-Jabbar over to Fergal. O'Brien over the net. Fergal with the hit. O'Brien over to Von Iverstein. And it's going to be another Plymouth point. Scores 11-2. Abdul-Jabbar again with the serve. Fergal over to O'Brien is going to go into the net. Kingswood now has 3 on the board. Claire Richards is going to take the serve for Kingswood. Great block by Mia Sullivan, giving Plymouth another point. Scores 12-3. Coming onto the court again is Emma Cooper. Sierra O'Brien with the serve. They are going to fumble that, and it's going to be a Plymouth point. O'Brien again with the serve. Richards over to Kohler. Abdul-Jabbar over to O'Brien to Von Iverstein. She tried to get a nice hand on it, but she went right over her fingertips. It's going to be 13 for Plymouth. Score with the serve. Over to Cooper. Close save for O'Brien.
Keep it going, Maddie.
Unlucky, and it is going to be Kingston's point. Maddie Ward is going to take the serve again for Kingswood. Swanson over to O'Brien. Set for Cooper. Close for Kingswood. They almost did defend that. Unfortunately, it hit her hand the wrong way, and it's going to be a Plymouth point. Coming back on the court is number 15, Alicia Poitras, and she is going to take the serve. Kohler, the set, and it is going to be a Plymouth point. The score is 15-5. Plymouth is now leading by 10 points. Poitras' serve went over to Richards, and she wasn't able to get a good hand on it, and it's going to be a Plymouth point. She is going to take the serve again now. Richards over to Kohler. Abdul-Jabbar over to O'Brien. She's going to set for Swanson. It's going to be a Plymouth point because it did deflect off the hands of Kingswood. Poitras with the serve. Over to Richards, going to go over the net. O'Brien's going to set for Sullivan. O'Brien's going to set it for Cooper. She's going to set for Swanson. And that is going to be a point for Swanson. Score is now 18-5 Plymouth. Poitras with the serve. It's going to be short, and it's going to be a Kingswood point. Taking the serve is number 22, Claire Richards. I'm sorry, it's going to be 15, Sarah Hotchkiss. Swanson over to O'Brien. She's going to set for Sullivan. It's going to be blocked by Aniva, and it's going to be a Kingswood point. Scores 18-7. Plymouth still is leading. Poitras over to O'Brien. She's going to set it over the net. It's going to be saved by Kingswood. Swanson over to O'Brien. O'Brien's going to set for Swanson. Saved by Richards. And that is going to be a point for Plymouth. Great save by Richards for the Knights. Swanson's tapping it over to Kingswood. Kohler's going to set it, and it is going to stay in bounds for Kingswood. Score is 19-8 Plymouth. Coming back on the court is Abdul-Jabbar. Aniva with the serve for Kingswood. On the court now is Alyssa Baldwin. Abdul-Jabbar over to O'Brien. She's going to set it for Custance, and she wasn't able to make it over the net. Score is 19-9 Plymouth. Kingswood is trailing by 10 points. Poitras over to O'Brien. She's going to set for Cooper. Kohler is going to set it. Abdul-Jabbar over O'Brien. And it's going to be a Plymouth point. Again, O'Brien's really good at faking like she's going to set it for her team, and she is going to place it over the net, getting her another point. Score is 29 Plymouth. Fergal with the serve for Plymouth. of bounds and hit the net. It's going to be another Plymouth point. Score is 21-9. This game could be a 3-set game. Kohler's going to set for Andrea. PRHS. And that is going to be a Kingswood point. Score is 21-10. Plymouth still leading. Taking the serve for Kingswood is Abby Kohler. Abdul-Jabbar over to O'Brien. She's going to set it for Bree Custance, and she is going to get the point on that. Score is 22-10 Plymouth. Coming back on the field is Kate von Iverstein. Swanson with the serve. Custance with the great kill on that play. 23-10 Plymouth. Swanson with the serve. Kohler's gonna set for Baldwin. Miscommunication for Plymouth. That's all right though. They're still in the lead by 13 points. Fergal over to Custance. It's going to be out of bounds and another Kingswood point. Jerry Andrea is going to serve for Kingswood. Thought it was going to go out of bounds, but it did stay in. 23-13 Plymouth. Kingswood is holding the momentum right now. Swanson. It was a good save by Fergal. Wasn't even able to get it back over the net, but she did save it there, which was a good defensive play for her. Jerry Andrea again with the serve for Kingswood. Over to Swanson. Fergal's going to set for Custance. It is going to go long. And it's going to be 23-15 Plymouth. Von Iverstein. Kohler over to Hotchkiss. Over to Abdul-Jabbar. Fergal over to Custance. Abdul-Jabbar over to Fergal. She's going to set it for Custance. It is going to go long again, and it's going to be a Kingswood point. And Plymouth is going to call a quick timeout. Kingswood's starting to make a little bit of a comeback now. Plymouth does have a good lead still, but they definitely do have time to come back now in this third set. Plymouth, when they come out of this timeout, hopefully they'll be able to get the momentum back and they just need 2 more points, and that'll be the game for tonight, and Plymouth will walk away with the win. Jerry Andrea with the serve for Kingswood. Over to Abdul-Jabbar. Fergal is going to set for Custance. And it's not going to stay in bounds. It is going to be a Kingswood point. It was very close. I was right on the line. The refs are going to say that it was out of bounds. Great save by Custins. Over to Fergal. Kohler is going to set it. Abdul-Jabbar over to Fergal. She's going to set for Paquette. Kohler over to Hotchkiss. Unfortunately, Custins did get a hand on that. I don't think that she meant to, but Kingswood is going to get a point. It scores 23-18. Plymouth is still leading. Jerry Andrea with the serve. Swanson's going to save it over to Fergal. But Iverson is going to get the point on that. Scores 24-18. This is going to be a game point for Plymouth now. Abdul-Jabbar is going to take the serve for Plymouth. And Plymouth is going to walk away with the win tonight. That was a quick 3-set game for Plymouth. It was really close in the first set. In the second set, I'm sorry, it was very close. But Plymouth was able to dominate that entire game. That is going to do it for us here tonight. Coming up this week, though, volleyball. This game will be played on Pemmy Baker TV, Channel 20, Thursday the 21st at 5 o'clock p.m. Girls soccer is going to play Kennett, and that's going to air Saturday the 23rd at 5 o'clock p.m. And boys soccer will play Kennett, and that's going to air Saturday as well, the 23rd at 7 o'clock p.m. And Plymouth Regional High School football will be playing Bow, and that's going to air Saturday the 23rd at 9 o'clock p.m. I'm Rosa Milano, and this is Pemmy Baker TV. Thank you for watching.